Belgian Hall. I mean the hall.
The hall,
The
yes.
hall, yeah.
Lighthouse.
Yeah, good bands. So Grandpa was pretty involved in that.
He pretty well, yeah, he
Yeah.
started it.
Yeah, it's his land, which he sold at half the price. So he bought it for $5,000 and sold it to the club for $2,500.
That was a lot of money in 48.
It was actually in 46 when they started the construction in 48. Yeah, so we're pretty well connected with the Belgian club.
Oh yes, it was a great place to go.
A lot of employees cash their check there at the end of on the Friday night.
Downstairs, yes, I know. That was why Friday nights you never had supper. You had to be a member. Dad bought me, for my 18th birthday, he bought me a share so I could go to the hall, even though I had been going to the dances.
We all got shares when we turned 18, didn't we? I don't know. Well, I didn't, but
I did,
You did?
on my 18th,
Yeah.
So I got an ID card. It's every Saturday night, party.
yeah, and that's where you met Fred.
Yes, on a blind date.
Oh.
Yes, and it was the night that Lighthouse played.
And we had Lighthouse.
On the 60th,
Yes,
yes.
could
Yes.
have turned out nice for that.
Yep, and our wedding reception was there. And we invited 600 people
Yeah,
because 250 of them were relatives.
yeah. It was full.
It was very full.
Yeah.
And that was on Grandpa's birthday, June 28th.
Okay. Grandpa had a lot of real estate there in that corner.
Yeah, he also owned Gus's, which was called Jerry's at the time.
Yeah. And then prior to that, or just around the same time, he's got 1,200 acres in the Grand Bend Marsh. He worked 800 of it into workable grounds.
And it was very good land.
Very good land. And turned out to be called Klondike Farms. And so what he was doing was he was selling off land for the immigrants that helped him. And for their hard work, he was giving them parcels of it. And then Mom had that 50 acres on the Huron Lake side by the pinery, and she sold it off after Dad died because she didn't like paying the taxes on it.
I know.
50 acres on Lakeside, south of the pinery,
Pinery, yeah.
and sold it for $50-some thousand.
I remember.
Yeah, he bought and sold about 10 to 12 farms because I've got the deeds. So yeah, he was moving a shaker. He actually grew tobacco in Interkep, which nobody ever grew tobacco north of the 401 at the time.
I remember him walking with Jerry across the parking lot to Gus's, and I remember his hands. They were huge. And he grabbed Jerry's hand, and he almost engulfed his whole forearm.
And the White Owls.
And the white owls, and always.
Cigar.
Every time I smell a white owl, I think of Grandpa. But we had a lot of big family Christmases, that's for
A lot
sure.
of cousins.
A lot of cousins.
Yeah, for the rabbit dinners.
Oh, yes.
Catch that rabbit that was behind the shop there. Grandpa would grab it, show us how they break its neck. You just whip it,
Yep.
and then he'd hang it in downstairs on that pole and start cleaning it.
Yep.
All the grandkids would be watching.
Ooh.
You had to watch because you wanted to make sure it was a rabbit and not a cat.
Yes.
I remember that story because Grandpa in Belgium during the war, that's one of the things they learned is to watch the rabbit get prepped. So you're not eating a cat. But they probably had to eat cats anyways.
It probably did. I used to meet Grandpa in the grocery store. He was picking out meat for supper. We give big hugs and how you doing? And
He used to come to the shop with his lawnmower blade and go
Oh, yeah.
back to the back shop there. And he just wanted his excuse to come to the shop and listen to what was going on. That lawnmower blade was getting to be like skinny as a pencil over time because he'd just stand there grinding it, sharpening it while he was listening to everybody talk.